Howdy folks, my name is Siddharth Vinayak Patankar. This is CNB on the NDTV network. Thanks for joining us for a brand new episode. Now, the market may be witnessing a slowdown, but we keep seeing new launches coming in because that's the only thing that seems to excite the market and the consumer. Well, we got a new one for you yet again. It's close to its launch next month. You did see it many months ago at the Auto Expo in Delhi last year, and now it's been productionized at GM's Talegaon plant and ready for launch. We're talking about the Chevrolet Enjoy MPV, and we've got both the petrol and the diesel for you in our first look. It's not too long after the Sail sedan that we are getting a new car from Chevy. And just like the Sail, this one too has made the trip here from GM's China operations, though from the SAIC GM Wuling or SGMW unit. The Hongguang though has gone under the scalpel, and I do believe the product we are getting is better suited to India. First, the looks of the new Enjoy. This is an MPV, the newer, more European term for what we have been traditionally calling MUV, of course. But while those were more Jeep-like and taller, the MPV is more van-like and not as high-riding. The Enjoy has a pleasant look, and while the sides and rear are generally plain and do contribute to a box-like appearance, the face is fairly dramatic and smart. I'm going to say full marks then to GM India in particular, because its technical development center in Bangalore also includes a design center, and the work that's been done here, especially on this front grille, to make the car look a little different, a little more upmarket, the Indian version that is, compliments to them because it makes the car look more high-end, doesn't make it look like a drab van. And so, like I said, kudos, because this does help as compared to what was first shown to us at the Auto Expo last year. And a lot better looking than the Hongguang too. I have to say the car looks less boxy in the silver paint finish. Now let's step inside. The first impression is that the cabin is fairly upmarket looking, but not as car-like as the Ertiga. This is the high-end LTZ variant that we have today. It's not great on plastic quality, but when compared to its rivals, comes across as adequate. I do like the shape and design of the central console though. And now we come to the part of the story where things get significantly different when you compare to the Ertiga, the Xylo and even the Innova. Space. When you look at the car from the outside, you can't imagine that it has this kind of space inside. Some of it comes from a little bit of space that's been carved out of the front seat. But even besides that, I mean, just the sheer amount of legroom, good headroom, fairly comfortable seating, even when the car's on the move, by the way, and decent space even on the third row. This particular version has these, what we love to call captain seats, but the 7-seater configuration on the high-end car, but you also have the 8-seater with the bench here that can seat 3 people. You have that option also on the base version. And the bigger part of the story, you do get air conditioning for the people at the back. So these vents are standard, and I think that's again something people will like. Quick look now at the third row. So back here in the third row, of course, it's not the most comfortable, but given what's out there in the market, you'll find that on short hauls especially, this isn't bad. Legroom, again, not bad for this particular segment. And of course, it lacks under thigh support. But the other thing, the glass back here pops open just a crack. While that's not fantastic in terms of a roll-down window comparison, but at least it gives you a little bit of ventilation. You don't feel cooped up back here or cramped back here like you tend to feel in the Ertiga. The car does come with some creature comforts at the top end, electric mirrors, a music system. It also has ABS and airbags, plus reverse parking sensors. I do find the seats surprisingly comfortable, and even though at first the driving position seemed a bit awkward, it was actually comfortable. The height adjustment on the driver's seat helped. I took the silver car out first, which sports the petrol heart. Now this is a new addition to GM's India engine family. The new 1.4-litre S-Tech unit is adequate for this car, perhaps a bit more on paper though, because with 7 or 8 people on board, this may not read as amply. It also sounds a bit wheezy and isn't impressive at takeoff. Once you get things going though, it is smooth and fairly punchy too. Lack of torque is an issue for me though. I've switched from the petrol to the diesel, and I tell you what, They are like chalk and cheese. They are just so different in character, as of course all petrol and diesel engines are. But you know, there's a certain amount of lack of refinement that seems to exist on the petrol, which gets nicely covered up on the diesel. By that, I'm talking about things like low end torque. Almost seems inadequate on the petrol. Over here, no such problems. And you know what? You get the right kind of power, you get the right kind of overall drive feel, you get the right kind of low end torque. All of that is coming to you courtesy that lovely gem of a multi-jet engine from Fiat. Got to doff my non-existent hat to Fiat and also to GM for catching that opportunity, bringing in that engine and productionizing it across different vehicle platforms. I'll tell you, on this particular car, it actually feels like this engine was made for this car. And all the praise aside, the thing I cannot understand is why there is a lack of just that last bit or last mile when it comes to sound damping. That kind of refinement, you don't really want to hear this engine so loudly. And it's not just in the case of the diesel, it's in the case of the petrol too. So sound damping needs to be better between the engine compartment and the cabin, and I'd like a little less play in the gear stick. On the whole though, the car handles fairly well, and while it doesn't roll for the most part, on bumpy or bad roads, things get a bit bouncy. I was skeptical about the 14-inch wheels at first, but the Enjoy rides well and it helps limit body roll. The Enjoy is likely to launch in 3 or 4 variants by the 10th of May. I expect aggressive pricing, more in line with the Ertiga than the Innova, and a little refinement will really set it apart. The cars we had were pre-production models, so that just might get better by launch. The advantage of reasonably compact on the outside yet roomy inside will help it stand out. The segment continues to be dominated by the Innova and to some extent the Ertiga. If priced well, the Enjoy could find itself a good following, both as a family car and a fleet vehicle. Now some of you know that a few days ago I was in New York for the New York Auto Show. At the same time, I also attended the World Car Awards ceremony. Now some of you do know the results of that as well because I posted that online. But for those of you who don't, let's take you through the entire ceremony this year. The Mazda 6, very strong contender back there for the World Design of the Year for the year 2013. And remember, here at the New York Auto Show is where they will be declaring the winners for the World Car Awards. I am very happy to bring you all the details. Let's go straight into that arena.
I'd like to welcome you all here today before the 8th Annual World Car Awards. Each year we sit in anticipation to hear what has been selected as the world's best cars.
Regular CNB viewers are familiar with the categories up for grabs here. First up, the World Green Car of the Year. The finalists were the Volvo V60 plug-in hybrid, the Tesla Model S and the Renault Zoe.
And the World Green Car winner for 2013 is the Tesla Model S.
The World Car Design of the Year next. The finalists were the Aston Martin Vanquish, the Mazda 6 and the Jaguar F-Type.
World Car Design of the Year for 2013 goes to the Jaguar F-Type.
The finalists for the World Performance Car of the Year were the Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, the Porsche Boxster and Cayman and the Toyota 86 Subaru BRZ Scion FRS.
For 2013, World Performance Car is the Porsche Boxster Cayman.
And finally, we had 4 finalists instead of 3 this time for the World Car of the Year. The Mercedes-Benz A-Class, the VW Golf, Toyota 86 Subaru BRZ Scion FRS and the Porsche Boxster Cayman Twins.
And the winner of the World Car Award for 2013 is the Volkswagen Golf.
Well, there are several of these awards, and we've been around for 9 years now. I believe the importance is growing. We're getting a lot of good feedback. The industry is certainly becoming global. What customers need is converging all over the globe. And a win like this for a Golf, for a global car like the Golf, I think is rather significant. That's the feedback we get from the media colleagues, also from the car makers.
The reason why I also ask you this is because in the past it used to be more significant to have, the individual, the North American car of the year, the European car of the year. The fact that now the car, like you mentioned, becomes a more and more global product, individually as a platform or as a product, a recognition like this then becomes more important too, isn't it?
I believe so. I think it gives an indication to customers all over the world. The cars are the same all over the world. It used to be that the Western car makers would, ship the old tooling to other countries where the cars would be produced for decades. That's not happening anymore. You're having global launches. The demands, the wishes of the customer are the same all over the globe. It's safety, it's environmental consciousness, and last not least, fun to drive. And a win like this gives an indication to a customer in Germany as much as to a customer in India or in Brazil.
So Volkswagen is already tom-tomming its big win. World Car of the Year for 2013 is indeed the Golf. Not a huge surprise because it was a really strong contender, just given the fact that it's built on that new MQB platform, so many engine variants and available in so many markets. Unfortunately, ours is still not one of them. The Mercedes-Benz A-Class did come pretty close, but eventually it had to be the Golf. Also the European Car of the Year, remember, just a few weeks ago, and now the World Car of the Year too. It's 2 years running for Volkswagen, and once again you've got the Golf walking away with the big honors. We've got Mr. Silva here with us. Many congratulations, and exciting moment.
Yeah, it's an exciting moment because after the Car of the Year in Europe, we have the award, the World Car Award in the United States for the Golf 7 is a fantastic moment. For me, for all the technical staff, on the designer, everybody in Volkswagen. So congratulations first of all to this dream team.
Those are the exciting ones. I know we are waiting for the Golf still in India, but will this be the kind of direction that both design as well as engineering will take from Volkswagen?
Yes, of course, because as you know, design is a discipline between technique, engineering, technology, production, and styling, and altogether we are working very strong on the definition on this new modular platform, and this gives us the opportunity to create a strong family for the future in the A0 class, in the A class, in the B class. So it's really Golf is really the ambassador.
Many congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We've got plenty more to take you through on the program. There is some news from BMW and especially its Mini brand, but also big news, a scoop in fact, something that we've picked up on. Volkswagen is now developing a shorter version of its Vento to gain the excise duty benefit. That's right, a sub 4 meter Vento. But besides that, all the other big news in our sector snapshot as we take a short break. Welcome back to CNB. Now the car with us on the show today is the Jaguar XKR, and you know what, a little eye candy never hurt anyone, did it? So from one high-end car, let's talk about another high-end brand, though not quite as high-end. That's BMW's Mini brand. Now Mini's plans to come to India, you heard about that first right here on CNB, right? We were also the first ones to tell you about the strategy, which included the assembly of the diesel Countryman at BMW's Chennai plant. Well, all of that is now coming true, and we've got all the details with Bala, who met up with the management of Mini in Bangalore.
The The iconic British premium car brand Mini will now carry the Made in India tag, as parent company BMW has finally announced plans to begin local assembly. Something you first heard about right here on CNB. Also, we told you then the iconic Mini Cooper hatch range that's made in the UK will continue to be sold as a direct import, while the Countryman compact crossover will roll out from BMW's Chennai manufacturing facility. This means 2 new diesel variants of the Mini Cooper Countryman and a new petrol variant called the One Countryman. There is no additional investment being made for the new assembly line, and BMW is keeping the capacity flexible to cater to demand. Having sold over 300 Minis in 2012, BMW expects to do better this year despite the slow market.
The results were really positive. We could sell over 300 cars already in the last year, imported cars, so we decided with such a fantastic market acceptance of this iconic car, we think that we have also to produce it now, and that was the decision. So to further develop the market for Mini. Also on the one side production, on the other side additional dealers. So we are in a really good way with the new brand Mini.
Although BMW claims that this decision to go in for local production was all about the potential demand that they see in the Indian market, it's really the price competitiveness that they'll now offer on the Minis in India, and also ensure that sales remain steady in this fairly unsure and slow automobile market. The locally produced variants are priced well below the CBU variants of the Countryman, which will continue to sell, by the way. The petrol One Countryman variant will be the cheapest Mini in India at 23.5 lakh rupees. Now the first Mini will roll out from the Chennai plant by the end of this month, and BMW has not ruled out the possibility of exports in the future from the Chennai plant.
But it's not planned at the moment. We are very happy with our capacity in India here, and we think that the majority of the sold Mini in future will be produced in Chennai. And first, India has so much possibility, so much potential also for the brand Mini, that we think in the first stage only for the Indian market. Later on could be, but it's at the moment not planned.
This is the first time the Mini's Countryman series is being produced outside Europe. It has added yet another dealership in Bangalore in addition to the 4 existing ones. Clearly mega plans being rolled out by Mini here in India.
A quick jump into Hyundai's iDrive now. It is an initiative to basically show off the latest iteration of the i10, which has been in the market for some time now. CNB was part of that countrywide drive for one particular leg. In fact, our very own Ronak Shah was driving the car up the coast, the eastern coast to be more specific, and it was pretty gorgeous.
It's been around since 2007 and it got its fluidic facelift in 2010. But even as the world prepares for an i10 replacement in a few months, in India the plan is to keep the current car alongside the new one. And so it's crucial for Hyundai to keep it relevant. So a few weeks ago, the car was tweaked yet again and we got this, the iTech i10. And with it, Hyundai embarked on a nationwide drive with the car a few days ago. CNB chose the Chennai to Visakhapatnam stretch to join the ride, so just over 800 kilometers on a rather scenic route. A refresher on the iTech variant then, it's got red interiors with red and beige two-tone seats, steering mounted Bluetooth controls, a rear view reverse camera with parking sensors and a signature iTech body graphics. So it's all mostly superficial, though the steering controls and park assist features are a help. And hey, some folks may just like those red interiors more than the regular ones too, right? Mechanically, there are no changes. The car still sports the 1.2-litre Kappa engine, which is zippy, smooth and efficient. And it's a big reason why this car has been so popular in India. We manage speeds over 150 km per hour on the highway with relative ease, but that was mainly on the long straight stretches. The car handles well through twists and bends too, mind you. This stretch of the National Highway number 5 is rather impressive. As it winds up the east coast of the country through Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, it makes for a pleasurable drive. This toll road also has the amenities that you'd need on such a drive. Well-equipped gas stations and also some pretty good eating options. What's more, every toll booth also provides clean restrooms, a big plus in our book, which helped keep us refreshed and relaxed as well. But as we got closer to Vijayawada at the end of our first day's drive, the roads got a bit messy as a lot of the road work is still being carried out. So in the future, perhaps they will be much better. On day 2, we did the 500-kilometer stretch from Vijayawada to Visakhapatnam. This is also part of the Golden Quadrilateral extending all the way up to Kolkata via Bhubaneswar. It was a very pleasant drive yet again with smooth open roads and also lots of very welcoming greenery all around. Not to forget, lots of coconut trees too. It was indeed a perfect road to cruise along, and yes, at a fairly good clip too. We managed to average about 120 to 125 kilometers per hour for a lot of this stretch. The road also offers quick response ambulance and emergency services, and again, well-built toll booths with amenities. But you do need to watch out for stray cattle. Of course, it's not like we only got good roads. We did have to contend with some bad bits as well. And on those bad roads, the ride gets very bumpy. And that's not too surprising because the I-10 is a small, lightweight car after all. Some of the state highways in Andhra Pradesh are not all that they're cracked up to be. Everything from broken sections to really muddy stretches, which weren't particularly kind on the car. The I-10's cross-country drive, iDrive, covered about 9,000 kilometers in total over 25 days, traversing over the Golden Quadrilateral and covering all the major cities like Jammu, Jaipur, Bangalore, Bhubaneswar and Varanasi, to name just a few. But if you're ever on a road trip in the part we managed to cover, here's a tip. Definitely carry a good camera along to capture some picturesque memories along the way.
That is a wrap on the program. We hope you enjoyed it as always. And as always, I will also wait for your feedback. You do know how to get in touch with me. So until next week, when we are back with plenty more from the world of wheels, I'm going to say goodbye. Please wear your seatbelts. Please wear your helmets. Please don't use your cell phone when you're driving.